welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Ears Up Podcast, and we're here with you on right now it's on a Wednesday night, but you don't care about that. You're podcast listeners. It could be Sunday for all you people know, for all I know. For all I know about you and your weird behaviors.
It's true. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because things I have to say are very important.
I'm sure. Pretty sure that's accurate. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here again on Ears Up Podcast. We have a cool show for you guys tonight. It's tentatively called Things to Do at Night, but I think on the YouTube, you can watch us live on YouTube, by the way, for all of our broadcasts. I think it's called It's Nighttime in Disneyland, Now What?
Yeah. I like that.
And I think so,
good.
too, because it makes a little more sense to me for some reason.
Yeah, I called the YouTube thing Disney After Dark, but then I was like, that could be like many things.
I feel like you need like
a little
more
certain
type of music playing, if you're going to call it that.
Yeah, that's a whole different show. That's like the secret show.
That's the secret show.
It's a very secret show, especially because everyone in this room is married.
That's more secret than I ever want to know about.
That's true. Find us on iTunes. Rate us on iTunes. Tune in, Stitcher, all that kind of stuff. Bev is choking on water, so that's...
If it's not ice, it's water.
It's a new concept for Bev, drinking things.
It was carbonated, and it was a big swig. Sorry. I'm good. Hey, guys.
Popping big bottles. That's all Bev does.
Popping bottles.
Beb. I called you Beb.
Beb.
Beb. That's all Beb does.
Song of the South, Beverly. Beb.
Stop it.
I can't say that. I can't say those things. Don't forget, we're on social media, so join us. You'll get to know when the show happens, hopefully within a couple hours before it starts. We are admittedly very bad about that, but we're trying to get better. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram, probably more so than anything else. We're on Pinterest as well, halfway. You can send feedback on this show to Taryn.
2/3.
You can send compliments on this show or on Terrence or frankly anything. If you really like bananas, or if you love grapefruit,
Or if you have a really good meme.
or if you have a great meme, just anything you want to enjoy with Terrence, that goes to Terrence.
I need memes, please.
You can say hi to Bev. And anything else comes to me at Jason, and the extension there is earsup-podcast.com. Ears up with a Z, please. Also, we have our blog, all our Disney info, Animated Classics Review, which is my turn to do, and I haven't done it yet, and that bothers me. I have to do one, and I just haven't done it.
Which one is it?
I forget. It's the one right
it's
after
some
the
that
other.
nobody has ever seen.
You're consistently good at these.
I'm great.
We're all really good. And then the next one is something nobody's ever seen, and that one's mine. And I just like want to
trudge
YouTube,
though.
through these ones until we get to the good ones.
Until we get to the ones that people care about.
Yeah, like
To
The
the ones
Lion
that-
King.
Yeah.
People have seen.
Yeah.
There's a few before The Lion King.
Yeah,
that
right now-
people
I
cared
know,
about.
that's
We're
what
in
I'm
the
talking
40s.
about.
Honestly, I don't even mind watching something that nobody's seen. I just don't want to have to rip it apart. Like, I want to have nice things to say about it.
That's true, and it is just. I'm just was curious as to see if the storytelling of Days of Old kind of holds up still,
Right.
and if we're really kind of going after Disney and being fans of Disney and the old cartoons because of nostalgia, because they were cool. I mean, let's be honest. Most people listening to the show weren't around in the 40s. I feel like, I feel like grandma's probably not, going, why won't iTunes sync to my robot?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's probably true.
My robot.
Yeah. So do we care about old Disney stuff because it exists, or do we care about it because it's actually good? And, I don't know.
Yes.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. If you want to support us, you can do your Amazon shopping via our Amazon link. Go to earsup-podcast.com and check that out. We accept recurring donations via PayPal, if PayPal is your John, or you can go to patreon.com/earsup. Did we do the Johns on this show, or was it Secret Show?
It was the other one, yeah.
All right, well.
You're welcome.
Secret show, whatever. You can go to patreon.com/earsup and then subscribe that way. It's a recurring donation, and every month you get a cool thing from the aforementioned secret show for our $8 level, or at the $12 you get the show, plus you get a little hand-drawn thing by our friend Lulu, and it just goes up and up from there. So check it out. It's like a recurring Kickstarter, and it really does help us out a lot. So thank you very much for that. You can also go to getcoveears.com and buy the greatest thing to hit the top of your head since the Mickey Mouse ears. blah, blah, blah. Tickets are still on sale for our 100th show. We're at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen in downtown Disneyland, November 11th. Tickets are $50, and if you have kids or less than that, you get a cool gift bag, you get a raffle ticket, you get a bunch of stuff just for going. Plus a little bit of food. And, then you can buy more raffle tickets if you want. And we're putting together raffle prizes right now. It's pretty awesome. Jeremy from Spectro Radio will be our 5th chair. He's going to sit in and do the show with us, and that's going to be awesome. And hopefully we'll have a couple other people there, maybe Kyle Sherman.
That'd be cool.
Our good friend Kyle there, too.
We're going to do games and things, too. That are going to be interactive. And
it's mostly going to be games, I think.
I think that's what you have to do. That people don't want to sit and watch us talk.
I think it'd be really boring, although we are really exciting to watch.
And we're all really pretty.
Especially right now at this moment in time.
This moment. We all look our best.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I think that, what do I think? I mean, I think we should do, I haven't planned it out yet because it's still 89 months away or whatever.
It's actually 127 days away.
I don't see that thing.
Oh, gosh.
It might be 128, but I just looked up our hotel reservation and it told me, and I was like, oh.
That's coming up pretty close.
That's coming up.
I haven't figured out too much, but I do want to sit and do part of our show. Either, I think maybe history might be too boring, but it may be something like this, what we're going to talk about, where it's kind of a roundtable discussion, so people can see us do our thing. But for the most part, I just want to have fun. So we're going to do like a not Wheel of Fortune. Family Feud style game. We're working on a game I think it's going to be called Beat Jeremy.
I already love it.
Yeah, so we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have new shirts in stock at TeePublic. We're working on some more T-shirts, too. We're going to have a lot of shirts here the next couple months. I'm really, really excited about it. More churro stuff. We're getting back to the churro.
I want our new shirts.
The
I
churro
want all
designs.
of them.
I know. That's kind of
going to.
Okay, good. So anyway, for tickets to the show on November 11th, go to brownpapertickets.com and search for us.
Do you realize that every time you say that now, I'm thinking of the trap song that you made?
Brown paper
bag.
tickets. Boom, boom. Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
That should be a Migos song. We should cover it.
Yeah,
could do a
Jason's got
parody
me
song.
into trap music. Like, I'm the
Why?
whitest girl in the entire world listening to trap music.
Trap transcends.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
Trap is for everybody. Trap is
it?
your friend. Trap loves you.
I still don't. Never mind. Bevo down.
Taryn,
Yes.
go ahead
sir.
and do some feedback, please.
All right.
Wait. Okay. I had to make sure the show was recording. Go ahead, Taryn, and do some feedback, please.
All right. The first one is from Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
I hopped over from the BN network to see what kind of debauchery was going on with this podcast and was impressed with how entertaining it was. Listened nonstop through the Space Mountain history episode. I'm 38 and haven't been to Disneyland since the 90s. I actually don't remember any music on Space Mountain, just tracks and screams. So it was that long ago. I'm currently a dad of twin boys, almost 2 years old. I'm thinking a Disneyland vacation is inevitable. However, probably not until they turn 4 or 5. Anyways, plan to listen to more shows. Keep up the good work.
They're free now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was
Exactly.
going to... My advice is go now because they're free.
My advice is wait. Pay for it.
No.
I think it's because I think it'd be so much better to have
You've been with Abby
an accessible child.
at 2, and she was pretty awesome.
I didn't spend all day with her. I didn't have to go back and change her diaper and put her down for a nap and make sure she ate.
She never napped.
Yeah.
She passed out in her stroller.
Well, there you go.
I mean, she napped, but I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
Such as Abby.
Anyway,
Well,
I'd
but-
say go while they're free.
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to go...
And it
later.
actually, it is so cute to go when they're that age because things are real for them. And you watch, like, I took Abby to Tiki Room when she was like 10 or 11 months old. And, like, I have pictures of her eyes just, like, busting out of her head because she was just like, what's going on?
But that's just her eyes.
No,
Like she's
no.
kind of a little malformed in that way.
Oh, my God. Stop it. Moving
I'm
on.
not sure what I'm going to throw at you. I'm deciding, actually, as we said.
Well, let me know.
Probably
Taryn,
John Mayer.
please continue. Which one?
The one with the butt or without?
Go ahead.
Anyway, the next one is from Rich. What's up, Ears Up crew? This is Rich in Ventura. We were listening to the episode about Easter eggs, and since we were going to the park the following weekend, we decided to take it as a challenge. We found all but one, that
Oh, wow.
Lego minifigure. But knowing how small they are, I feel like finding it would be a needle in a haystack. We also added a few of our own. As you know, the windows represent different people special to Disney, not only due to achievements, but some are important to the rides when they were built. And the popcorn turners are themed to the land, and sometimes different time of the year. Also, I looked for the Eeyore sign every time, hoping to see it on my own, but I always have to ask for help. And speaking of Indy, there's a rope to pull and the lettering. And in Fantasyland, the Golden Apple Evil Queen on the Snow White ride count, in my opinion. So challenge created, challenge accepted, challenge defeated.
Nice.
Great job.
I wouldn't say it was defeated because you missed the Lego, John. But
Have you
it's
ever seen
fine.
the Lego, John?
I didn't even know it was there.
As always, Rich and Ventura, and see you in the park. P.S. We haven't tried the churro challenge lately, but I'll keep you informed. P.P.S. Hi, Bev.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
I think the rope in Indy is a good one because
Yeah.
not many people know about it.
Well, and now, like, the line hardly ever is just stopped there, so you just walk right past it.
Yeah,
that's true.
I do wonder what they're doing about because as you walk through like that room with the spikes and the ceiling drops, there was that bamboo thing that you could push on to lower it to do that effect, but that hasn't worked in a year or two.
Yeah, and it's been longer than a year or two, and
Yeah?
it's so disformed.
Yeah,
Is that a
sure.
word? Yeah, okay, so
Beaten up.
Yeah, so beaten up that like you touch it and it just like wobbles around 12
Yeah.
times.
It's
And so-
broken.
It's true.
Yeah, it is. It's broken. But yeah, I think
That
the
was a
one-
cool effect because you had to hit it hard enough to trigger the effect. You can't just move it slightly and be like, I don't understand. And so that was always fun to see people try to do it and you can't do it, and then you come up and go wham, and then it goes.
Especially since in that portion they have the don't step on the diamond squares.
Yeah.
So most people are looking down at that moment, and then you hit the
Yeah.
effect, and it scares the crap out of
That's true.
poop. That I
Sure.
can say
Crap
crap.
is
Scares the
fine.
crap out of them.
Yeah.
So,
I even say crap in front of my parents. I don't swear in front of my parents
And I'm
at all.
over 30.
I know.
Yeah.
I am over 30, but I still don't. But I do say crap.
I don't swear.
I added that one.
Go ahead, Terry. You're
The
bold.
next-
By the time you get 50, you'll say doo-doo.
Maybe.
All right.
The next one is from Brenna. Hello, Ears Up team.
Hello.
I recently discovered your podcast in my first venture into podcasts. I've been slowly moving all of my belongings from Southern California, where I've lived for the past 8 years, back to the Bay Area, where I grew up.
Welcome.
The drives have been have slowly been driving me insane, and that's until I came across your podcast.
Yeah, dude, that's a rough drive once a year.
Right, several times it sounds
Yeah,
like.
dude.
It's the worst.
As an avid Disney goer, past cast member, and Disney history lover, I checked out many Disney podcasts, but yours takes the cake. The dynamic of your group
I
kept
like
me
cake.
laughing while making the grueling 6-hour drive for the third time in the month of June.
Oh,
Whoa.
gross.
Probably during the day, and it's like 180,000 degrees outside.
And she says, for that, I have to say thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome, dude. You are very welcome.
I
I'm glad
especially-
we could help.
Yeah, I especially love your history-centered podcasts and have been obnoxiously telling everyone that will listen about it all the cool facts I've learned.
Good. Appreciate that.
My biggest regret about leaving Southern California will be my lack of proximity to Disneyland, and your podcast is helping to ease that blow. As it's good to know the Disney magic is alive and well up north too. Please
Yes.
keep up the great work and keep the podcasts coming. I still have a few more trips to make this summer. Oh, jeez.
Dude, sell your stuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Start over.
In the middle of us moving, like we're moving, right? I guarantee you do not have anything that is not better off being sold off and replaced.
Word.
Nothing.
Seriously. Thank you for keeping me awake and entertained on these drives. Sincerely, I regret not renting a U-Haul, also known as Brenna.
All right.
Next one is from Stephanie. Hello, guys.
Hi, Stephanie.
I just finished listening to your most recent show, and I wanted to let you know that Big Thunder Trail, which used to house the petting zoo and connects Frontierland and Fantasyland, has reopened.
Okay, good.
Great. You'll be able to enjoy it when you take your trip to the parks in September. I will also be in the parks in September from the 4th to the 9th for my birthday. If you'll be there at the same time, I'd love to meet up and say hi. Maybe
We are
enjoy a churro together.
Just gonna miss you.
I know.
By a day.
By
We'll be
literally
leaving-
a day.
I'm leaving on the 3rd.
Yeah. Oh man.
Bummer.
I'm sorry. Go on. Sorry. Go on.
I wanted to give you some feedback. By the way, this is the email that kind of bummed me out, and you'll find out why.
Okay.
I wanted to
Uh-oh.
give you some feedback regarding Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout as well.
I like you almost called it garlics.
Garlics?
Garlics of the Galaxy.
Yeah, garlics of the galaxy, which made me hungry again, even though
Thinking
I'm
of
really
the pizza
full.
in the other
Delicious.
room.
That's a restaurant they're open next door to the ride.
Garlics
Garlics of the
Yeah.
Garlics of
Yeah.
the Galaxy.
My husband and I attended the galactic premiere party on May 27th, and it was worth every penny of the $150 we spent for the tickets.
This it didn't bum me out. It pissed me off. It made me actually like upset. My blood pressure.
Got a little hot.
You'll find out why. Because just remember our trials and tribulations with the $95 Tower of Terror Adios thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we enjoyed
Context.
some galactic cocktails, observed Groot and the awesome dance party, sat in on a panel featuring Joe Road and other Imagineers, and got to be one of the first 2,000 members of the general public to enjoy the ride. We rode it 5 times that night. We could have ridden it a dozen times that night, as the wait was only 15 minutes at the most. 5 times was enough, though. When we left, we were given a swag bag that included a hat, tote bag, collectible pin. This anger is not directed towards you, Stephanie.
No, absolutely not.
Tiven ambassador name tag, ride poster, comic book, and portrait of the collector himself. Everything is dated and limited edition. These swag bags were going for over $200 on eBay the very next day. Savvy sellers got to go to the party for free, or may have even made money on the experience. As for the ride itself, I think it's far superior to Tower of Terror. The queue is better themed. Guardians of the Galaxy are far more relevant than Twilight Zone, and the tone of the ride is more party adventure than outdated suspense. Also, the drop sequences, music section, and visual scenes are all randomized, so the experience can be different every time you ride it. In my opinion,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Galactic
Big breakout. It's fine.
I don't
The
know.
ride
is a much better experience than Tower of Terror ever was.
Okay.
Anxiously waiting the next episode of Ears Up, Stephanie.
Well, Stephanie, you are an awesome person for getting to do that. But curse you, Disney! You took our money and gave us nothing!
Do you think they stepped it up because of the crap show that you guys dealt with?
Well, and
think
Jason,
sure.
Let's give Disney some credit. They gave us a ticket for the option to buy a souvenir.
They gave us a great opportunity to buy something for $35.
Yeah, that's what they gave us.
And even if we did, they gave us hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
Hors d'oeuvres. Literally, that's it. We had to pay for our booze.
Bro.
Nobody knew how to use the credit card machine.
Mm-hmm.
It was
so we had one glass.
Terrible.
That's a womp womp moment for sure.
I read this thing and I was heated.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because they're ushering out the old, and then when you bring in the new, you want to have as much energy and excitement as possible. But man,
It doesn't matter.
So different.
I feel
different.
I feel like I missed my opportunity to complain about it because now if we write in, I mean, I could write in and be like, look, I heard what you guys did for the Guardians of the Galaxy. We paid for the Tower of Terror and got nothing.
Right.
We are never going to do this again, and maybe they'll give us a night in the Dream Suite. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
And Joe Road was there too. That's amazing. That guy is like big in Imagineering. That's awesome. I mean,
they
sorry,
picked the
guys.
right one.
Awesome, Stephanie.
More I think about your experience, like the more I just can't believe that it was allowed to happen.
I know.
Yeah.
Like just as somebody who plans things, like kind of for a living, like who was in charge of that?
Right.
Yeah.
Even just the getting in. Like
terrible.
All of it.
It's terrible.
Horrible.
But anyway, good job on you.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
that's awesome, Stephanie. I'm glad that it was better for you.
5 times.
And I think that if I had known about this, I would have said, no way am I going to do that.
Yeah.
After that last
Oh,
experience.
no, exactly.
But maybe you've rekindled my faith, Stephanie.
Yeah. And our last one is actually a comment on a secret show. This is from Keola. No joke, best secret show to date. I like the Disney news and Disney stuff, but hearing you all talk about feelings and other topics was amazing. If you're not going to do these types of shows for the secret show again, would it be possible to create a whole brand new podcast?
Oh, God.
Love all the thinks and feels.
Called Feelings.
Feelings.
Well, we talked about doing a show on the last, I think it was on the last secret show called She Gone.
She gone.
Where it's Bev and Taryn
We just giggle.
just giggling and drinking, which I will have no part of.
Man.
But I think that comment was about the previous secret
previous
show
one. Oh,
about
yes.
Terrence and his
Just wait
family.
for the next
and-
one.
No, it wasn't about that. I thought it was about the other. Can I say what it was about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was about the Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood and actresses and writers and stuff like that.
Those
we
were
really
oh, yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was
yeah.
the same
Was
one.
it the
Wasn't
same
that one
episode?
about Tupac?
possibly.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I don't
Oh, yeah,
remember.
you're right. That was the same show.
Possibly.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. It's good.
It's good.
Terrence is he's in his happy place right now.
I'm trying to be.
That's it for
Is that
feedback.
it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's good feedback.
We did it.
That is very good feedback. Now let's move to the best segment on this show.
Yes.
Terrence Thinks.
Well, so Jason and I, we have recently watched all of the Jaws series.
Okay.
So we're watching a lot of people in water and a lot of people diving and all this stuff. And it made me think about overpopulation of the Earth.
And that's the solution. All right.
It is. No, this is the thing. It is. So we're spending all of our time and money trying to find a way to like live on Mars and the moon. Why aren't we trying to find a way to create tunnels so we can live underwater? There's all this unused space where we are.
So like C Lab 2021 or whatever.
Yeah,
that show
pretty
was?
much like, or like a SpongeBob even.
People are.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
SpongeBob.
I was with her
I kind of was too
until she mentioned the documentary SpongeBob.
Oh my
I didn't say the documentary.
I know, but you're putting it in a real life context,
Yeah,
which it's funnier if I think that you really think it's a documentary.
Well, like that one, the squirrel or
Oh my
whatever, she
God.
wears like a thing.
Sandy. Her name is
I
Sandy.
mean, we wouldn't be able to do that. We would need to build like actual tunnels.
Yeah, because of the pressure and all of that.
Yeah, like there's a lot, but it can't be more than going to the moon. Like, why aren't we condensing
underwater?
our resources here to find more land, more places to live? Why are we trying to go to space?
I think they've tried to do that for like 50 years, and it's just not feasible.
But 50 years ago, we didn't have the technology we do today.
Prove it.
No.
All right.
Let me Google. Why don't we live underwater?
I feel like it makes perfect sense.
Terrence Thinks.
You can go live underwater, Taryn, anytime.
I actually would. I like, as I've said, I love water. I really
Because you want to be a salmon. That's what you have said.
I would. Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on. I have no more faith in us
In
as
humanity.
a society.
No.
When I type in "why don't we live," that's all I type into
Okay.
Google. Why don't we live? Why don't we live forever? Why don't we live together? Why don't we live on the moon? Why don't we live underground? Why don't we live underwater?
See, I'm not the only one. Maybe people.
No,
that doesn't
like
make
I
it
said,
better.
people are looking into it, but I don't think it's feasible as a project.
The BBC. Future. Will we ever live underwater?
There you go.
And actually, funny enough, the article is one word: no.
Aw.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, everybody, it's time for our show topic, which is called "It's Nighttime in Disneyland." Now what?
Now's when the fun happens.
Right. So basically, and I think that this is a good show for a few reasons. Number one, because we're really nice, but also because I think a lot of people miss out on the nighttime experience. For those of us who are park marathoners and stay till the close, right, till the end of the thing, the park thins out. There's a lot of people who go home, and I don't think they fully understand how cool the park is at night.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through. I'm just going to read. We made a list beforehand, about 11 things, but we may hit them all. We may not. And then we're just going to go around and talk about the things and why we all put them on the list, and we all either agree or disagree that it's a ride that would be better done at night. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Tiki Room.
Ah, yes.
So okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Taryn.
I never thought of. I mean, a lot of you guys had this on your list. Like, I'm really curious to see why, because it's indoor. Like, how is it any different?
It goes back, for me, it's the queue. So typically it's really hot during the day in Disneyland, and it gets kind of cool at night. And so I like being right by the Tiki Room and get a little bit of a breeze coming off of the Jungle Cruise, a little bit of that smell. But then you have the tiki torches going as well. The way they light up the outside, it really heightens the anticipation. And another thing that I didn't realize until we just went, it was the last thing that Becca and I did with the kids. And it was like 10:30 or so when we're going in. At that point, there's usually so few people that are going in, and the cast members that work there are kind of tired because they've been doing it for most of the day.
Yeah.
They play it up. Like
really?
if it's like a 20-minute Tiki Room show, the guy went on for about 15 minutes beforehand, like riffing and hilarious. Like, like Robin Williams at the height of his comedy career, hilarious. Like I had tears in my eyes. This dude was so funny.
I doubt that.
No, hilarious.
Like what did he say?
I don't remember off the top of my head. But he's doing it like doing impersonations.
Like why don't scuba divers fall forward when they go in the water? Because they'd be in the boat still, they'd fall in the boat. Yeah.
No, it was actually funny. Right. No, but he was doing impersonations. He was actually impersonating a lot of the characters from the Tiki Room and giving you like instructions, like they say, no flash photography, but he would talk like Pepe or whatever the guy's name was. It was really good.
That would irritate me.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great.
No, I'm sure you thought it was great. That would irritate me.
Why?
Because I want to see the show.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there for 15 minutes listening to some guy yammer on.
Yeah.
Get me out of here. For 15 minutes and watch some birds.
It was very engaging. It was really good.
Okay. Was it... How do I put this? Was it jokes as good as the Jungle Cruise, or was it way better than that?
No, like legitimately funny jokes. Okay. Like not corny. Not yes, they were funny, not punny. Okay. No, they were very, but it was really good. I was actually quite impressed.
Well, that's cool. I've been at night before, and I've never experienced that. So maybe it's that first cast member, but that's something to look out for.
Yeah,
for sure. I agree. It's more of the ambiance, and I think for me, a lot of these things are just more of the ambiance, right? It's you get the fire at night. I mean, even just the sign to Adventureland's pretty rad. At nighttime, but you feel more like in a tiki village, or I don't know if there's such a thing as a tiki village, but I don't know, it's something different.
You feel like you're in the jungle.
Yeah.
A little jungly.
Right. And I don't know if people have really experienced that at night. And plus, when you're filing into the show or after the show, it still looks very cool because it's dark in the Tiki Room. And so I really like it for that reason.
Okay. I agree.
I'll try it out.
I hate it. You've never been to the Tiki Room at night?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I honestly, I've rarely been to the Tiki Room. So we used to make fun of my dad a lot because that was his favorite, and we thought it was really stupid. And I went when I was probably like 12, and we sat in there, and my family has a tendency to make fun of my dad, but like he has me and my sister and then my mom, so it's 3 girls and my dad.
Yeah,
and
it's not a tendency; they do it like that's their job.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, and
so we were like, you don't get to pick any more rides. Like, I can't believe we did this. Like, it was so boring. And so, like, his ringtone for my phone was always Tiki Room because, like, it was like a long running joke. And so I didn't visit the Tiki Room until our friend Matt told us. Like, it was like his favorite. And so when we'd go to the park with him, we'd go in there.
Yeah.
And so that was probably 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I have a totally different appreciation for it. I think I did apologize to my dad, but no, I have not seen it at night.
Look, Dad, I'm real sorry, dude. I'm real sorry about this.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one I think you should do at night, or we all think you should do at night, is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yes.
That one, I mean, the effects in there scream out for, no pun intended, scream out for nighttime, especially in the blow-up room. I love that ride at night.
Yeah.
You've at least done that at night, right, Darren?
You said Thunder Mountain, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I literally blanked on that word, and I'm like, I'm just gonna guess what they're talking about. Yes, that was on my list. That's absolutely one of my favorite rides at the park, and it is 1,000 times better at night, but it's even a little bit better if you go right at dusk. Like right after everything has set, but before it's super dark.
I agree.
It's awesome.
Okay.
I agree. I think it's one of those rides that if you go when it's too dark, it can take away from the ride. So I think at dusk, because I think you take in more of your surroundings, but the sun's not like beating down into your face.
Okay.
I don't.
Maybe it's more like sunset, which I think a lot of those rocks are painted to look like there's a lot of like more deep orange and
exactly,
pinks and those kind of hues.
Yeah.
I kind of like it when it's darker because it's harder for you to see what's going on. And as disorienting as that ride is typically, I like it more at night when it actually is very dark because I can't see the track as well, and it kind of throws me around a little bit more because I can't anticipate where I'm going to go.
Okay.
So I do like it at night, but I do completely see what you guys are saying about dusk as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever ridden it at dusk, but I like it at night for a number of reasons. It's lit really well, of course. But then when you're up at some of those peaks, you can just look around and you can see the rest of the park lit up at night, too. And that's always fun.
Yeah, that's true.
The next one is probably my favorite thing to do at night is go ride the Haunted Mansion.
Yes, I have to agree with that one.
And one of you, I think one of you was asking why Haunted Mansion, or maybe not. Maybe I imagined
No.
that. Oh, okay.
I think when I added that to my list, I just wrote obvious reasons
Okay.
as my descriptor.
Okay, probably. I like the Haunted Mansion because, again, I think the way they light it
Oh, it's amazing.
is great at
fantastic.
night. It's just a great ride to ride at night.
And to be perfectly honest, I mean, the line for the Haunted Mansion during the day, I mean, it kind of sucks.
It's terrible.
Hot. There's
Yeah.
no shade. So when you're going at night and you have all of this visual stimulation and the sun's not beating down on you, you can just really take in the surroundings so much better.
Yeah.
And again, most of the time, these rides don't have long lines because people abandon the park at night. They don't abandon. Don't get me wrong. There's still a line for stuff, but like Haunted Mansion, if you're like an hour or two left on close, there's you walk right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah, and I think that it also heightens your anticipation for the ride because instead of it, being a hot day outside, you're worrying about that. You're worrying about the kids running around and all of that. It's now a little bit cooler. And it's dark. You're about to go in and be haunted.
And they got the music
You know,
going.
it just
Right,
it
for sure.
feels like you're just getting ready for this haunting thing. And also, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Just real quick to touch on because we're talking about the mansion.
Yeah.
My boys have been on this ride a lot. It is usually around Christmas time, and it's the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. And we went 2 weeks ago. We went, and it was my oldest and my middle and I in a doom buggy. And I don't know. Did they make it darker? Like I don't know what happened. Like the kids were like shivering because they were so
really?
scared. And it was, I mean, like dark. Like it was not like I ever remember seeing it before. To the point where I was like, all right, hurry up and get us out of here. This is a little scary.
Well,
Really?
and
That
that's-
bad? Jeez.
I feel like I can sort of relate to that because when I was little, I remember we would go to Disneyland like once a year or so, and as a kid, you can't remember from the year before. You just know you've done it. There's a familiarity, but it's just as scary every time you go on it because you're at that point where you don't know if it's real or not.
Yes.
And it's really scary. It was the same with Pirates for me when I was little. But like it's that, and I feel like maybe that's what it was. It's like they don't know. Like everything is very real to them.
Right.
As they're looking out of their doom buggy.
Well, that makes sense. But I've been on it so many times, and I'm normally not scared. And there were and not that I was scared, like I thought something was going to happen, but I remember being able to see details. And as you're going to like the endless hallway with the candles, I couldn't see anything on the wall leading up to that.
So did you do this in the daytime or at night?
This one wasn't during the daytime.
Because sometimes I think that when you go on that ride during the day,
Yeah.
it makes the actual ride better because your eyes have a hard time adjusting to the darkness.
But it should be adjusted by then. You have the entire elevator and the hallway. I should be adjusted by then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
Maybe I'm just a wimp in my old age. I don't know.
I do think that things have gotten a little darker on the Haunted Mansion. The last couple times we rode, I think we talked about it too, especially in the hallway. Like I can't see anything, but other times it's like, wow, there's kind of you can
too
see a
bright,
lot of
yeah.
stuff. So it does just change every now and then. But I definitely think at night it's better. You just get into the story a little bit more. You get into the vibe a little
Well,
more.
and with us, like we tend to try and make that our very last ride. And if we're there till midnight, like if the park closes at midnight, we try and get there 11:59.
Yeah.
Like we want to be the last person on a mansion. And I
That's
think we've
cool.
done it a couple times.
We have. That's
Nice.
pretty cool. The next one, Pirates of the Caribbean. Better at night or not?
Absolutely.
Think so?
Twinsies.
Why? Terrence doesn't believe you.
No, because very similarly to the Haunted Mansion, there's something about walking onto that dark ride at night and going through the John.
Nice job.
Thank
I
you.
don't know.
Going through the John.
Yeah, that works.
John's is plural only. I don't think it's singular.
What?
You're a John.
Now you're making up rules for the thing that doesn't have any rules.
For the thing that
Well,
doesn't
John's-
exist.
John's would be
Whatever. I don't
stuff,
even like it. I
right?
shouldn't even use the word. Anyway, when you get on the boat and it's dark,
Yeah.
and then you get off the boat and
Right.
you're exiting the ride and you're in New Orleans Square, it just seems that much more real.
Right.
Like,
I think that's what the
it's
nighttime
just
does.
great.
It transports you better to the thing.
Exactly.
And I think because everything's lit differently, obviously it's lit differently at night. It's lit at night
Yeah,
versus the day.
right.
But there's less people around to
less
like
people.
pull you out of it. And that's why I like the Pirates. I do like it at night. I like just coming out of any basically show building at night. I don't know why. It's a different experience. But Terrence, you look like you have a problem with this one.
No, I mean not a problem. Because I personally for me I don't care either way.
Okay.
I love it during the day, love it at night. But I've never considered it better at night for that particular ride. You know, just because of the fact that as soon as you enter, not necessarily just the show building, but once you get to the wooden plank part of the line, you're outside right there. And so at night, I mean, normally you're walking right on. And so for me, unless you're talking about specifically about getting off the ride, then yes, I can understand that. But once you get into the show building, like you're walking right in, I don't know. The outside doesn't. It's kind of lit up, but there really isn't much to see and much to take in. So I don't know.
I agree with
Okay.
you on what you're
That's a good
saying,
point.
but for me, it really is just that walking out. Like
Okay.
it's very jarring if it's light outside,
Okay.
especially if it's light and it's hot, and you're just leaving this like really cool dark building
And
that's
New Orleans
cool.
Square is always a
That's actually a really good
Yeah.
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh yeah, that's right. There's all the crowds, and I'm hungry. Like, but if it's dark and you walk out of that ride, you're just kind of like, yeah, I just rode that.
that was cool.
I don't know. It's a little different vibe for me.
I agree. The next one is I put the caveat on it, but only as your last ride in the park, and that's the Disneyland Railroad.
That's a really good
For
one.
me, this ride is really cool at night because you get to go around and you get to see Disneyland at night from a different perspective than you normally do. And then if you try to time it to be your last ride of the night, Toontown's a ghost town. There's nobody there. And most of the park is a ghost town, too, to be honest with you. So it's just a different perspective. And that's really why I think at night that ride is
Yeah. Well, and also at the end of the night, your feet hurt. There's another plus. It's a long ride where you get
Yeah.
to sit down and just actually like
rest
take-
because it's a
take in the
long
park.
walk back to the hotel.
Well, that's true, and just take in the park from that vantage point. For
Yeah.
me, is why I love that ride. But it's also at night. I agree. You just see everything lit up, and I think it's really nice.
Okay, you guys had on here Main Street in general, and I think a couple of you had Main Street. What is it about Main Street in general, Bev, that you like about Main Street in general?
At night, there's it's obviously not as crowded. After the first parade ends and there's the mass exodus,
Yeah.
just that they still have the music going, but everything is lit up, and it sort of transports you.
It feels quieter, too.
It's quieter.
Because there's not
it's
a lot of people
just-
going, Mommy, I want the thing.
They have the penny arcades all lit. Like there's just so much going on, and it's just so much easier to really take in the details and just enjoy it. Like it's just so enjoyable.
Terrence, you agree?
It's good pictures. You can get a picture in front of the castle behind you without
Yes.
100,000 people. It's just
True.
Yes,
my jam.
I agree. For that, looking either way. So looking down towards the castle at night, and just the old town. Almost, it was really weird. And I thought about this last time I was there. Almost kind of a Western feel to it. Almost a little bit reminiscent of Frontierland in that area, right there.
Okay.
And then, the castle lit up beautifully. And then, especially during Christmas, when you look the other way, and the Christmas tree lit up at the end of Main Street. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And personally, it's the best time to go shopping. I hate going shopping
Yes.
on Main Street
Yes.
during the day.
Oh, yeah. You
And
can't do it. It's terrible.
No, it's just I agree. I think it's fantastic at night. I really do.
All right. Walk around Cars Land.
Oh man.
Oops, what did I just do? Yeah, dude, Cars Land. It's the best. We've talked about it since we had that preview.
Yep.
Right? Whenever the neon comes on, that's when you go there. You don't need to go to Cars Land. I mean, go through it during the day because the
still
backdrop
cool.
is cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But it's just any other thing. But at night, it's entirely different. It's a transformed
at
area.
night you're in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You jump in your TV.
And the lighting at the Cozy Cone is all cool. It's really neat, man.
I'd go a step further. I would say don't go there until night.
Okay.
I would. Because the lines for radiators, well, for Ridgeway racers,
Whatever
I don't
you
know
call
what it's
it.
called.
Radiator Springs racers,
Yeah.
it's going to be absolutely horrible.
Always.
And then if you have little kids, you're going to have to wait in line for Mater and all of that. But you don't even necessarily have to go on a ride if you go into that
Yeah.
area at night.
Yeah.
It's just that
Completely agree.
cool looking.
That's true.
And then Radiator Springs Racers is even better at night. I love because
It is better
because
at
it's
night,
not
yeah.
it's not as jarring. It's the whole thing. It's not as jarring because you're going from the loading area at night, nice, cool, and crisp, into a dark
ride,
ride, and then coming right back out into the darkness and racing. So
You're
you
right.
don't have that jarring, the light all of a sudden hitting you when you come out to race.
I think you're very fragile.
Yeah, but- well, obviously, as Taryn said, my eyes don't adjust very quickly to
Right.
Haunted Mansion, so maybe that's the problem with that, right? Too.
Maybe.
And also, this could just be my crazy, but I think for whatever reason during the day, I feel like it's hotter in wherever the cars land. Like something about that black topped asphalt. Like
It
Something
might be
about-
because
I
they.
think
I mean,
heat radiate. Like
it
I'm not
does.
even. I
It
think I'm a
absorbs the
little
heat.
crazy. Like
No, no.
See that?
but I
it
feel
absorbs
like
the heat.
it's.
I
get
completely
instantly
understand.
hotter as soon as you go there.
I think that during the day it is hotter in Cars Land because the sun's out, and I think when the sun goes away and the moon is out, it's a little bit cooler.
Yeah, well, the moon doesn't radiate as much heat as the sun.
Obviously,
Sorry, I had to take it. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
whatever.
The next one is the Jungle Cruise at night.
Yes,
I have to agree with this one too.
yes.
Why? Bev's shaking her head. Why no, Bev?
Full disclosure, I don't like this ride during the day
It's true.
either. But
Have you done
I
it at night?
think it's worse at night.
Really?
Oh, really?
I do.
Why?
Because I think that for me it's there's less to take in. Like there's the weird lights and you can only see the one thing. You don't really get the full vibe of a jungle. I don't like it. I
Okay.
just don't like it.
You don't get the full
makes me
vibe of a jungle
uncomfortable.
because you can't see everything.
Which is
is
exactly
what you just said, by
and
the
that
way.
was that's my point because.
But that's what I'm sorry, that's just what I don't like about it.
But see, for me, it is a lot less cheesy at night, as far as what you see, because it's so poorly lit on purpose.
They still talk.
No, I understand. I understand the skipper thing. That's
funny.
But as far as what you're seeing exactly what they want you to see, exactly when they want you to see it, because they light the remainder of it so poorly intentionally. I love that. I love once again the coolness coming off of the water, and then also when it thins out and the kids are gone. And there's no kids on your boat at night. The jokes are a little bit more risque than they are during
Really?
the day. Oh yes.
Like what? Why do scuba divers fall backwards?
Why do I
Yeah.
feel
when
like
they get in the water?
Terrence always gets the good jokes?
Well, that's because
I
Terrence
think
is a
that-
liar.
I think
I'm
that,
not a liar. Oh my gosh, I'm not a liar.
I think that they're air quote good.
No. Come on, there's all relative. I mean, there's not going to be like, hey, the freaking whatever, Martin Lawrence jokes coming out all of a sudden. It's not going to be like that. But it's
because
going
he
to be.
said jokes.
That dude was
Sorry.
funny.
I know.
But it's a little bit. It's better because it isn't the same. Oh, this is the backside of water. They'll go in a different direction because it's late at night. There's
This
no
is
kids there.
The butt of water. I mean,
Well, I mean, even the chat room. The chat room earlier was saying the same thing.
Okay.
Because they agree with me. Because some people have also seen this. But I do. Shh, Beverly.
Bev is mocking Terrence. Right?
Oh, I'm just stretching my hand out towards her jaw right now. But no, I think it's better. I think it's definitely better because of the lighting and also because there's a little bit more interaction. You don't have, 500 people waiting back at the queue to go on the ride. It's not like that anymore. So they can get into it a little bit more, maybe take a little bit more time on the ride.
Okay, I've never experienced that again, but I agree with you. I think it's great, and I think it's just a good ambiance at night. And I think it's a ride that is very missed out on at night. I mean, there's no line for it at night. Just walk right on.
None.
I
Yeah.
like it. But it's cooler at night, like temperature-wise. Obviously, the canopy, the water is really nice.
Yeah.
And there's something cool about being on a boat,
Yeah.
even though you're on a track.
I only like it at night, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I only like it when we walk by it. That's my
I
favorite
agree.
time to enjoy it.
I absolutely agree, but I like it less at night.
You're
Here-
not the only one. People in the chat agree with
Yeah,
you.
people are saying they don't like it.
Here's a controversial one. The Matterhorn.
That's controversial.
It's controversial.
Okay.
Taryn, Actually, hold on. You hold on. I like it at night because all the effects look much better. Something about a roller coaster at night is much more appealing to me than a roller coaster during the day. I don't know what it is, just the cool night breeze or whatever. But when you get out and you peek around, you can see the park. Lit up at night. That's fun. Like I'm always looking around, looking the thing. I'm not looking forward. I'm having a great time with my back and traction. Right. I'm looking at the parks. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Terrence?
I don't think I've ever ridden it at night.
It's way better.
All right, Taryn, go ahead, please.
I mean, I don't disagree. Sure, it's fine.
Here we go.
But it's like
Taryn on the back foot now.
No, it's just it's generally my problem with that ride is that it's so rockety. It's so like hurts my back. Like I'm bracing the whole time, and so I'm so focused on like not getting a headache. That I can't look over to the side of me like where I want to, like especially like near Alice in Wonderland where those two rides meet. Like I always want to look over there. I can't, because as soon as I do that, we're gonna hit this weird curve, and then I'm gonna like break my neck, and I'm gonna be complaining about it for the next 3 days of our trip. Like it's just not worth it for me. So yeah, I guess I would just rather not ride that ride, but especially at night, because at least during the day I can kind of like focus more on the ride as opposed to like. Interesting
take. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've always liked the ride more at night, but especially with the new effects, I think that they get you a little bit better at night than they do during the day.
Yeah,
and that's why I definitely, because before I'd be like, okay, either way. Now I'm like, yes, definitely at night.
I've never ridden it at night, but I kind of think I can imagine that, like the part where I was gonna call him a Wookiee. He's not a Wookiee. The guy, the Sasquatch.
It's a Yeti.
Harold.
Yeti.
Yeah.
Is he still called Harold?
I
think he is.
But when he's behind the ice, like that does get a little washed out. So I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying, but something to try.
The Wookiee.
Well, I mean, I knew it wasn't a Wookiee. I just knew
close enough.
He wouldn't even be trying to get you. That's the problem.
He's trying to hug you.
Yeah.
That would actually be so much better of a ride if it was a Wookiee trying to hug you. If they really want to Star Wars up this place, that's what they should have done.
Wow.
Overlay.
That would be cool if like one day just have it Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Yeah.
When this happens, we know they're listening.
They taping. Okay, the next one is, I think it was Bev's because it's called it's called Mikey's Wheel of Terror.
I had a stroke while I was typing earlier.
That's the one in Knott's Berry Farm. That's the knockoff over there. Is Mikey's.
Mickey's Wheel of Terror, which is the fun coaster or whatever.
Which is the Ferris wheel. Yeah, fun coaster.
Oh,
Fun coaster.
Why did I call it fun?
I don't even know that. That's not even a thing.
Wow. Okay, Mickey's Wheel of Terror. Bev, why is this your go-to at night? Why do you like it at night?
It takes you up. I mean, if you can get on before they close it down for World of Color.
Yeah.
It's fun. It takes you up super high. Everything's lit up. You can see for miles. I just think it's pretty.
Okay.
And it's real scary when you're in the swinging ones and you feel like you're going to die.
Nope.
Taryn, do you feel the same?
I hadn't thought about this one at all until Bev brought it up. But yeah, I have to agree, because no matter what, the view from up there is amazing.
It's amazing.
Right.
So at night, it's got to be even better.
All right, Terrence.
I did it one time. I did Mikey's. I did Mickey's Fun Wheel
Are you having
one
a stroke?
time. Yeah. And I did it in the swinging buckets, and I looked like a spider monkey because I was gripping the bars with my hands and my feet somehow.
Yeah.
And
you're pooping in your hand and throwing it at everybody?
No, I think that it would be a great way to see the park. All the nopes.
Okay.
Not happening. Not happening.
Well, also
Fair
another
enough.
plus is like one of the things that you're really worried about on that ride is dying, and you can't really. I think it would be less scary because you can't even see your way. Like you can't see how far down you are.
It's not in pitch black. You can still see the ground.
And I mean, Mickey Mouse is all lit up too. It's just
Yeah, it looks
look
cool.
down. It looks super cool.
Crazy.
Have you done it, Bev?
Oh yeah.
At night?
Yeah.
In the swinging ones?
Our family's only allowed to ride the swinging ones.
I'm sorry. What?
It's a Sam and Abby thing.
By
I just
personal
go along with
mandate.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually started to like it.
Oh, you're insane.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
True. It is.
Okay, and here's our last one. Now, somebody is trying to mess with me because they put Tower of Terror.
Oh, too
I didn't say
soon.
Tower of Terror.
I did. Because it will forever be Tower of Terror
That's
to
true.
me.
Yeah, you should try the Tower of Terror goodbye party for $150 a pop, something like that. You should check that out
That'd
tonight.
be great. These Johns are great. Yeah, when basically the best part about that, Rob, the queue is cool. I don't know. There's something about the way the show buildings are lit up at night
Yep.
when you're approaching them is really cool. But
Yeah.
this one I agree. When the doors open up and you can see the park and you're checking it out, and I think that's really cool.
And then you drop and you poop
For
yourself.
like 0.5 seconds, and then you remember that you're about to fall.
But it's an awesome 0.5
But it's
seconds.
It's
so
true.
cool.
That was my favorite
That's
part
true.
always about Tower of Terror and they timed it right. So just when you're up and it opens for about 4 seconds, so you go, oh my God, we're up. Oh, hey, that looks really.
Yeah?
Hated that. All right.
Hated it.
Very good, everybody. I think hopefully people will maybe stick around the park at. Actually, hold on. Everybody,
No.
Actually,
it's
everything's
opposite
horrible.
day.
It's
Never
awful.
just leave the park at 6 every night. No, but I sometimes wish our park was open a lot later, like in Disney World, because that's at Disney World. There's a lot of people that come out at night because it's much cooler.
Especially DCA. DCA always closes at like 9 or 10, and I'm like, why
Yeah,
aren't
it's
you
like an
just
hour or two before
open till
Disneyland.
the same time?
It's just there's not enough. I
Is
don't
it
know.
because of the alcohol, do you think?
No, well, possibly, but I think it's just there's nobody over there. Attendance for that area is lower. But I would like for it to be an experiment. They just keep it open the same length of time as Disneyland. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Just to see,
Yeah,
man.
just to
To see. Or leave, or shut Disneyland down at like midnight. I almost said noon.
Right.
And then and leave DC open to like 1. I bet people would go,
Oh,
but it's
people would too.
obviously probably not enough to really warrant it. So it's
Well,
probably
those
a
are probably
stupid
not
idea.
the people they want there. Is
The
really
people
what
who
it
are out
is.
at 1 in the morning going,
Yeah.
I'll take a torpedo.
Exactly.
No.
Kill the alcohol.
Kill it at
Yeah.
9. Kill the alcohol at 9 o'clock.
9?
You cannot
9?
feed
Oh,
people.
man.
I'm just saying you can't feed people alcohol at 1 o'clock and then say, "All right, go to your cars." You can't do that.
No,
so you
I
have to have a cutoff point.
Yeah, but
I think that's why. I think that's why they do 10. I think that they figure most people head over to Disneyland, sober up or throw up on Indy, and then head home.
I need to feel better.
They haven't been with us to Carthay.
That's true. Let's do some fun things.
Past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
All right, let's just pull this Band-Aid off right now. New pirates set to join the crew of Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. This change has already happened in Disneyland Paris. And it's going to happen here in our park as well. So what they're doing, I'll spare you the Disneyland blog stuff, but apparently what they're doing is the Buy a Bride, the winch scene. Terrence is ready to hit something.
We wants the red head.
Yes,
That scene.
that scene. They're getting rid of it, and they're turning it into a pirate auction for like chickens and stuff.
First of all, pirates didn't buy chickens.
Right.
They stole them.
I'm pretty sure they
That's
didn't
true.
buy much of anything.
You're right.
Except wives.
Right, apparently. And then
redheads.
and then the redhead is now a pirate. They're making her a pirate. And there's a sketch on the Disneyland blog. It's a concept only. Yeah, it bothers me a little bit, and we're going to talk about it on the Secret Show. So if you want to hear about that, sign up to be a Patreon supporter, at least at the $8 a month level, and you'll get all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You'll get our hot takes on it. But for now, and the audio scene is going away. I don't know if the redhead stuff is going to be there or not.
I'm sorry, the what scene?
The
audio scene.
the audio stuff is going to
okay.
you know,
I'm
they're
sorry.
changing the audio.
Right, no, I didn't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, it bothers me, and this is kind of like this is the air of the room right now. Is how do you feel about it? And I don't know. I mean, I do know.
I know.
I'll go ahead.
I have a feeling.
But are
It's
you
just a
hooked on it?
feeling that tonight's going to be a good. No, I have a feeling. I have a feeling that because of how well the Pirates ride at Shanghai is doing, and the fact that that's solely based on the movie, that we're going to see Disneyland, Disney World, and Paris eventually be based on the movie. I think this is the first step, and I think eventually you'll see that character become the Keira Knightley character from the movies. That is what my feeling is that they're going to move in that direction, where it's not just Jack Sparrow hiding, and what it's going to be incorporating all of the characters from the movie into the ride and completely retheming the ride to being a Pirates of the Caribbean, a $1 billion, movie thing.
There's no way they can do that.
I'm telling. 2 years ago, you would say there's no way they're going to change that scene. 5 years ago, you'd say there's no way they would change the chase scene.
It's true.
They already started moving in that direction, and with Shanghai, really, I mean, they're killing it. You cannot incorporate all the things that Shanghai is doing as far as technology is concerned into that ride right now. You can't do that, but you can definitely incorporate. You're trying to reach a new generation. There's still movies coming out, and that's what people know. I'm willing to bet that's the direction they go.
Well, first, I'm hoping that you're completely wrong.
Well, so am I.
But I will say, I have not seen, as of yet, a single post, a single comment, or anything of anybody that thinks this is a good idea. So my hope is that Disney would also see that and backtrack if that is their plan, knowing that no one is happy with it.
Right.
That's my hope, is that if you're correct, that they're listening to their constituents.
I completely agree with you. I really hope that they do. Believe me, I do not want this to happen. But because of the fact that the movies have been blockbusters and there's no real end in sight as far as the number of movies they can make, they can branch off in so many different directions that if they wanted to theme this around something that they know will make money, that's the easiest way to do it. And they've already proven that it works in Shanghai.
Yeah.
What I, besides the obvious, what I dislike the most about this is that Disneyland, for me, and I think for many, many people, is that it represents a certain level of nostalgia. And if they're going to go in there and start messing with that ride and that nostalgia, what is safe?
Right.
Like, what are they not going to touch?
Well,
and
see,
ruin.
But I agree with you. And then also,
Just kidding.
With Mice Chat, with the article that came out there, it was that slant was more of a what are we teaching our children with that scene kind of a slant.
What were we taught?
Which I feel as though if you're worried that your kids are getting terrible values from a Disney ride,
right,
then maybe they're not getting their values from the right place. But I mean, literally, all of the stuff in that ride, if you really think about it, is pretty terrible. You have a wife telling her husband, "Don't snitch," because snitches get stitches. Basically,
right.
You have drunken.
Don't tell him, Carlos.
Right. Don't tell him where Jack Sparrow is, the criminal. Right. You have drunken pirates showing no gun safety at all, shooting each other at the end of the thing.
First of all, Jack Sparrow isn't a hero.
He's not. He's a criminal.
He's a mess.
Right. So why are the townspeople protecting him?
Exactly.
It's a stupid way for them to crowbar in the thing. Here's my take on it. I think that if they want to update the ride. Okay, that's fine. But there's half a dozen other scenes that nobody cares about in that ride.
Right.
That scene could be put in the end, the Jack Sparrow, and pull the Jack Sparrow because it never looks good anyways.
Right.
Pull out the entire, like the transition scene when like the roof is falling down on everybody. Maybe the redhead is in there escaping or something like that. Right. Do that. But please don't change iconic scenes in the ride that people still queue up for hours to ride. That's what I never understood about this park, man, is I get that you want to tie in IP. I get that you want to make changes to be socially and culturally aware. Totally understand it. But there's some things you shouldn't touch.
I agree.
Pirates of the Caribbean is one of those things.
Exactly.
You shouldn't touch it. Just leave it alone. If you want to freshen it up, that's fine. But to change the inherent nature of an entire scene, I think that's doing everybody a disservice. Now, do you want to talk about selling women and whatever? Okay, fine. I guess that's wrong. I'm just kidding. Of course it's wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong.
No, of
but if
course
you're
it is.
relying on an animatronic display to teach your children about social values, then you're a terrible parent. And let me know your name and address so I can call social services.
Seriously. And
Devo broken.
she broken. I kind of lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
But it was. I mean,
We can move on. We're going to talk about this during the secret show, so we can move on.
I
if you
do want to just play devil's advocate real fast, and
Of course you do.
And I mean, we all know that Walt was always trying to be hip with the times, and
Do we?
I mean, he always wanted the new and the latest. Like, are we sure that he wouldn't have loved this idea?
Doesn't matter, because that's one of those arguments that people bring up when they have no real argument for themselves. It's Walt would have wanted, or it's not what Walt would have wanted. There's no way to know. Walt had terrible ideas. Walt had great ideas. That's just that's the fact.
Obviously, so do
that's the
other
nature
people.
of it.
what
Look at this scene.
That's
so
horrible.
here's a concept. There she is with a gun on her hip, standing there over a barrel, and there's other women bringing out their belongings. So instead of saying, okay, it's not okay to raid and pillage and plunder, we're not going to do that. But it is okay for you to hold people at gunpoint and take what you want and then sell it to other people. So I guess my take on it is, at what point do we stop? At what point do we say, hey, I understand that things in this ride aren't historically accurate. They're probably not even very nice.
Right.
But it's not nice to burn an entire town down because you're drunk.
Exactly.
So are we going to change that scene also?
You're right.
It's probably very nice to get drunk on rum with kiddies, so that can stay.
Right.
But it's probably not very nice to stab people and leave them on a deserted island.
Right.
And it's probably not very nice to bombard a town or bombard a city, or to literally torture somebody to find out where some other guy is. So the whole ride is just wrong.
Yes, exactly.
So where are we going to stop with the changes? And I don't know. I don't have the answer. Like I said, I'm fine with you tweaking the ride a little bit, but there are better ways to implement the redhead being a pirate and not somebody's property.
Right.
Make her escape down the thing.
Right.
And that, to me, is much better than, now she has a gun and she's holding it against other people in the town to steal their stuff.
You're just
so
completely
now
changing
instead of
the
being a
story.
victim, she's an oppressor.
There you go. Here we go. We're moving on. Apparently there's a rumor going around right now, and you know how we feel about rumors, but this one is pretty, it's an interesting rumor for a topic. I think this is at the Disney Resort. I believe it's in Disney World.
Okay.
It's in Disney World. This time it's being reported that Disney is offering gift cards at select resort hotels in lieu of housekeeping services.
What?
In other words, if you forego housekeeping or mousekeeping,
No.
as some people call, I know those people who call it
No.
mousekeeping
Are the
do
worst.
need to be slapped.
Stop.
If you forego housekeeping, Disney will give you a $20 gift card as a thank you for each day that you decline the service.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't believe that.
I agree, and so a lot of people are saying, "Yeah, but maybe we can have if we're gonna have tiers for everything. Let's have tiers for this, John. Let's have tiers for. So I don't care. You don't need to come make my bed, but what I do need are fresh towels and take out my garbage can.
Right.
And for that, I want a discount. Or hey, here's a package for a room rate, and then this is my idea. And then at the time of placing a reservation, you can add on your housekeeping
With
services.
housekeeping or without housekeeping.
Right. So give me a discount. I don't want a $20 gift certificate or $20 card because, they give you the card and you throw away the card and it's going to landfill. Just give me a discount straight up on the room. And then I will add on my housekeeping a la carte. And then you can have the full John. And now I'm just doing it to be
Yes, you are.
Just to make me
a
annoyed.
turd. Yeah. I don't know. So what do you guys think about that? Would you forego housekeeping services for $20 to spend?
I forego housekeeping services for free right now, so
Totally.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate housekeeping, actually. I make my own bed.
Me too.
You make your bed when you're in a hotel?
I do.
You're
What?
crazy.
Do you make your bed every day?
I do.
Oh my
Do me a
god.
favor. Go around the corner,
What?
down the hall, turn quick left.
I will.
All right.
Abby does too. It's
Wow.
one of the only
Literally
rules
never
we have in our house.
You have to make the bed every day.
I've
the bed
never
every day.
been that person.
Hey, maybe my bed
ever.
in a week.
This is an interesting note here. I won't get too far into it, but apparently the Wall Street Journal is citing lower ratings at the Disney Channel, which is its kid-focused cable TV channel. Young viewers many of whom grew up watching YouTube and streaming videos from Netflix are less inclined to watch cable TV the way their older counterparts do. That has hurt all media companies, but for Disney, which is already dealing with the rising cost for sports content at ESPN and a decline in viewership over there, a loss of younger viewers is particularly worrisome. SNL Kagan, an industry consulting firm, told the paper that the two Disney-owned channels, which are Freeform, formerly ABC Family, and Disney Channel, each lost around 4 million subscribers over the last 3 years. So people do not care for the Disneyland programming.
Wow.
Or the Disney Channel program.
Yeah.
And it's, you get, we've talked about some of the dumb shows they're doing. They're doing the vampire boy band show.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's going to care about that?
No.
Clearly not.
I wonder if it has to do with also like the decline in people having cable and just
Yes.
watching Netflix.
That's part of it, and that's what they kind of talk about in here. But for the most part, you can go on and get I think a Disney Channel standalone like streaming subscription or something like that. Yeah. So people just aren't doing that. Who's ready to cry?
Me.
Oh no.
I
Terrence is
always am. I'm crying right
I
now.
know, I've been real emotional today. I'm probably gonna do it too.
Actually, I'll save that one for later. Here's a good one. Here's two.
What a tease.
He's two.
I'm just going to cry over this story no matter what it is.
Two Disney World. You might cry over this, and two Disney World related stories. And we'll get to the crying one. So I've yet to find them for Disneyland, but I've always wanted to do this. It's something on my bucket list, and I think we should do a show about it. The Disney World candlelight processional narrator and dining packages.
Okay.
Have been announced for 2017. For Disney World, where they have a celebrity guest come in and read some John, I don't know what it is, and then they do a candlelight processional down Main Street, and it's a whole thing, right?
Sounds amazing.
So here are your, ladies and gentlemen, presenting your 2017 Epcot Candlelight Processional Narrators. Sorry.
That sounded like regulators.
Never do that again.
Stand up.
Mount up.
Thank you.
It was
Mount
a
up.
cold black night.
The clear white moon. I knew that whole song.
Snap.
Go on.
Is this happening again?
Can't be some geek off the street, Terrence.
You gotta be handled. You gotta be
Handy
with the steel. You know what I
If
mean?
you know what I mean.
Seriously
earn
sitting
your
here
keep.
waiting to hear the rest of this
Yeah.
article.
Okay. So far, the following narrators are confirmed. December 4th to 5th, Pat Sajak.
Okay.
Wait, what was he from again? Love Connection?
No.
Bro.
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, Wheel
Wheel.
of Fortune.
He's
Oh,
still from Wheel of Fortune.
John.
That was Chuck Woolery.
Yeah.
Chuck
Back
Woolery,
in 2 and
that's
2.
Back at 2 and 2. 2 and
Right
2.
back at ya.
2 and 2.
Interesting. I'm not a huge fan of his voice, so I don't really
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
I don't know
one.
his voice. Trace Adkins. I don't know who
Who
this
dat?
person
He's a
is.
country singer.
Oh, don't
December
care.
15th through 17th.
I can't believe I knew that.
December 18th to the 21st, NPH.
Neil Patrick Harris. I would love that one.
That's the one that sells
my
out.
God. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
December 22nd to the 24th, CCH Pounder.
What?
It
Is that
sounds
a hashtag?
That's a name.
Google. Somebody Google that.
it sounds like one of the engines at the Disneyland Railroad.
Oh, apparently it's somebody. Oh, it's that chick. She's from the Shield.
cool.
All right. And then December 25th to 27th, which if you come on, on Christmas you can't get NPH. Jackie Velasquez.
It's pronounced Velasquez, and she is
Velasquez.
a former Christian music artist.
Oh my gosh.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Why is she
I didn't
former?
know that she was.
Is she like?
Oh, I think
no,
she's
she still
mainstream
is.
now.
She's just.
Oh, she's not good.
Is she Christian still?
She wasn't good.
They got her for the 25th. I mean, on Christmas.
She
Probably
wasn't
'cause of all
doing
the-
anything.
Probably.
Baby Jesus songs.
That's pretty cool, though. The Candlelight Processional dining package includes a meal at a participating restaurant and whatever. Anyway, so check it out if you're inclined to do so. Here is a sweepstakes, everybody, and I want you guys to enter because
Okay.
So there's something on ABC called The Chew.
Yeah, it's a food show.
I figured that.
It could be a dog show.
I wish it was a dog show, actually. The Chew's magical culinary adventure, presented by Ranch Out with Hidden Valley. So you can, I know,
Hidden
right?
Valley Ranch
For
is
real.
the worst.
Now none of us are going to win.
If you want to win a trip to Walt Disney World Resort during the International Food and Wine Festival, which is like September-ish or whatever, is giving you and 3 of your guests. So
That's perfect.
that's what I'm saying. We all got to enter this thing. You get A vacation to Walt Disney World Resort to experience all 4 theme parks, which I wish they would tell you, like, oh, only 2. And stay in the middle of the magic at a Disney Resort hotel, a $500 Disney gift card, and then they have to tell you which could be used to shop at select stores at Disney Springs.
Thanks.
So it's a gift card.
it.
Got it. Thank you very much. Plus the opportunity to attend a live taping of The Chew at Epcot.
I'll pass.
Right. Join The Chew as the hosts celebrate life through food with live music, tasty eats, and world-renowned drinks to brighten your vacation at Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. So here's how you enter. Wait. And with this experience, you get to watch a live taping of the show in front of the spaceship Earth. After savor delicious dishes from the market. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Go to magicalculinaryadventure.com. magicalculinaryadventure.com. Here's the rad thing about this, John, right here, okay? Is that you can enter once per person per day.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So most contests, you just enter once per email or once per household, and that's it. You're just entered. Daily, you can enter that. And I read the fine print because I'm like, oh, if I have Taryn enter as well, because sometimes people have one person per household, so that means
You have to use a different address.
you have to use a different address. Yeah,
And your maiden name.
Right.
right. Which is pretty cool, man. So anyway, check it out. It started on June 29th and ends on September 15th, otherwise known as the promotion period. So enter, folks, and then look. If you only have 2 people in your in your family and you want somebody else to bring, I'm available to rent.
Oh, jeez.
I'm available for free.
Me too.
I will pay you. Okay, here we go. Let's cry.
Oh, perfect.
Let's cry and then we'll do the fact of the show and then we'll get out of here. Right? That's kind of all we had to do.
Yep. I feel like you're getting music ready.
No,
which is gonna
I'm
make
not.
me cry.
I should. I'm trying to figure out where in this article to start.
Ambient
Sarah
sound.
McLachlan or something.
Okay, so there's a dude called Havis Hurley. Okay, and he retired from some sportsplex or whatever somewhere in the States. He became a special needs bus driver. He became one of those in 2006. He over the years, he said he noticed that while other kids got to take field trips, his passengers missed out. Special needs kids. He talked with teachers and parents and arranged a trip to the Memphis Zoo in 2011. On the way back, this child was 12 years old, and he said this was the best trip he'd ever had in his life.
Aw.
Said Hurley, who is 75. That got him thinking about his younger days when he grew up in Fort Lauderdale and, of course, went to Walt Disney World with his kids. They stayed all over the place. They did a lot of cool stuff, and he had a lot of those good memories. So he got this idea to take kids with mental and physical disabilities to Disney World in 2011. And the first trip they went in was 2012, and that was followed by 5-day excursions in 14 and 16. And fundraising is currently underway for 2018. He says, we already have a waiting list. Actually, this is someone else who's 31. She and her 8-year-old son, Channing, have visited Disney with Hurley, and they're looking forward to the next adventure. He originally opened the opportunity to kids on the bus and then expanded to other students with special needs. There were 45 kids and family members the first year and about 190 this past year. Hurley says, we've got a lot of people from Saltillo, Tupelo, Verona, Myrtle, New Albany, Thaxton, South Haven. He could be talking about the UK. I have no idea where any of these places are.
Tupelo, Mississippi.
There you go. It's he says it's really grown. Corinth Alcorn County Special Needs Kids Incorporated is the official name of the 501c3 nonprofit, but it's generally known as Havis's Kids. Kim Ratcliffe, 44, who's a board member, says one special needs kid and one parent goes for free.
That is awesome.
That really is.
That really is good.
Yeah. There were a lot of people to ride things with and walk around with and have fun, said Ciaris Corbin, 15. It's a fun experience because you're around a lot of other people. Sean Corbin and Channing Ford, who both have autism, enjoy different aspects of Disney World. Blah, blah, blah. blah, blah, blah.
That's such an undertaking and so awesome.
Dude, and so they're talking about just the range of disabilities that these kids have, including Down syndrome and cerebral palsy. One student has a brain tumor. Another is a service dog trained to recognize the onset of seizures. It's a whole bunch of things, man. So Disney gives Havas's kids a discounted rate and a bequest from the late Mally Norwood, I don't know who that is, help cover the cost of two 28-seat buses, which have reduced transportation costs from Corinth to the Magic Kingdom, but thousands of dollars have to be raised still for each trip. And Hurley says that's why we have to go every other year. So they're doing about fundraisers and stuff like that. So anyway, if you guys want to donate, I'm sure you can look up Havas's Kids or whatever, and I'm sure they have a website and whatever. And I thought that was really nice. Sometimes
That's amazing.
Gives me a little bit more faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's a good dude.
Totally.
I mean, I know we like to complain about stuff here on the show, but hey, man, for the most part, yeah.
What an awesome thing to throw your money at. Like,
Right. That's super cool,
Take
man.
the money.
Super cool.
And he gets nothing out of that.
no,
That is just
he's doing a
giving,
good deed.
and that's awesome.
just makes him happy. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
Makes me happy.
Here's two other cool stories. Real fast. They're real fast. Apparently at Carabella's at the end of Buena Vista Street, the ice cream, John.
in Disney World.
No, Disneyland and DCA.
DCA.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can have beer floats now.
What?
Gross.
Yeah, our friend Kyle's there. He sent me this picture. He just said beer floats, and it's there. It is. It's
Sick.
made with. Let me see.
I hope
What
some
is
kind
this?
of a stout.
Right. It better be
Henry's
Guinness.
hard soda, Coney Island hard
That's
root
not beer.
or slow down, Guinness extra stout.
Yes,
Okay, that's
definitely.
fine. That's
okay.
Yeah.
$10.
That's not
Oh,
bad.
that's actually not bad.
Beer
Actually,
floats.
that sounds pretty good. I take it back.
Beer floats, everybody. Beer floats. I think he's drunk because he just goes, okay, I'm going to go ride the loopy loop.
I don't know what that means,
No one
So,
does.
It's California Screaming, probably.
but I
that's
love
true.
him.
The loopy loops.
And then last but, here, we'll talk about this one on the other show. But I do want to say that if you guys are looking for some good Trader Sam's Tiki music, Spectro Radio, their newest summer-only show. It's called the Trader Sam's Sunset Hour, now through Labor Day. Wednesdays and Fridays, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Thursdays and Saturdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Oh.
And
I like that he
just
was
plays
like
tiki music.
he was really nice to both
coasts, yeah.
You got to do it, man. You got to
Awesome.
do it.
I'm
But,
I'm so excited for that.
yeah, so check that out. Check that out. Okay, let's get out of here. We're going to take a break. We're going to make a drink, and then we're going to do the secret show. But before that, we're going to do Fact of the Show. Over by Dumbo and other places around the parks, you will find a certain kind of rose called the Disneyland Floribunda rose. It's the official rose of the Disneyland Resort, in case that wasn't obvious, and was hand-selected from hundreds, if not thousands, they say, of other Floribunda roses by the Disneyland horticulture team. If you want to plant these at your home, which we've been talking about forever and we need to do on our new house, Taryn, go to the Jackson and Perkins website and search for item PP #, or I guess it's the kids call it hashtag, 15,114. Or just Google Disneyland Rose purchase, and then you can buy that.
Nice.
Anyway, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you got a little bit out of the show, and next time you're in the parks and you want to go home at night, don't do it. Ride some of these rides that we talked about. It's a whole different experience. Until then, we'll see you in the parks.